Hey guys, new video for Path of Exile 3.24. It's gonna be another build diary video, and probably the last one in this build diary series, because this character is sort of reaching the end of its upgrade path. Well, at least for me, anyways. Because we will be crafting the grasping mail and switching over to a grasping mail like resistance stacker type of build pretty soon. Well, I mean, pretty soon. I mean, we still have to craft the chest and gotten pretty unlucky. It took about 6 Hinochorus locks already to try to get either a fracture or the annul. So I'm trying to annul off the flat armor. And at the same time, I was checking if I can fracture this ES regen mod. And it took about 6. I got on the 6th one, so we still actually do have to annul. So it's going to be a 1 and 3. So it will take some time. And one thing noticed is like these Eldritch currencies are just crazy expensive right now. Like 1 divine for 2 of these, that's pretty insane. Like usually it's like 1 div for like 10 or something, so it is going to take a lot more currency to actually craft the chest. And like these, like all the Eldritch stuff just seems to be really expensive right now. I'm not really sure why, but I guess it has something to do with the changes, or I'm not really sure. But anyways, so that's sort of the state of the build. Let's go over what we've changed. So I did get the Mageblood like a couple of days ago, like day 5 or something. But actually, like right after I released my last video, went and bought the Mageblood and got everything set up. And let's just see. So I did get a Grace Implicit Ring and managed to craft this. Like pretty bad craft, just has like bare bones stats that I need. So nothing really special there. Aside from that, everything sort of is the same, except I'm trying out some different gems. So in Simulacrum, this Lightning Strike of Arcing is actually performing very well, and I've actually started to kind of like it quite a bit. Basically, the difference of this gem is that, well, it only shoots 1 projectile. So you can see we only have like 1 projectile shooting out. But I mean, if we do use our Dying Sun Flask, we then have 2. So the nice thing about this is that it chains, and in Simulacrum, the chains do feel very good for clear, and it does more damage per chain, I think. Yeah, so 10% more damage for each time the skill is chained. We have 9 chains, I think, or 10 chains. So that's 100% more damage on the final chain, and there is so many mobs in Simulacrum that you're going to be constantly getting that final chain quite a bit, I think. And then after that, I'm using the return proj still, so then after they finish their chains, then they're going to return back and then possibly hit another target again, which is pretty cool. And I guess the nice thing about this is when you have the 2 bosses in the Simulacrum and there's a lot of monsters around them, which happens like quite often, you can just like delete the bosses in like 1 or 2 seconds when there is a lot of mobs around, because of all the chains happening, and then they're going to be hit by these projectiles that are doing like, 50 to 100% more damage, and it ends up being pretty nice. And I guess then we don't have to run Pierce, so I'm using a Awakened Elemental Focus. And one thing I guess some people ask me is why Elemental Focus isn't running something else, like maybe like elemental damage with attacks and getting shock better. Well, it really depends how much you're shocking, right? This character can only realistically shock, like maybe you'll get 10% shock, but in reality it's like 5 to 10% on like bosses and this kind of stuff in like wave 30. So if you're only getting like that much shock and it's not even consistent 10% shock, then Awaken Elemental Focus is going to be better. And at the same time, our Tempest Shield can actually shock. So even though we can't shock with excuse me, with the Lightning Strike, our Tempest Shield, whenever we block, is going to be shocking for like 5%. So you still do get a little bit of shock, and you get the nice big damage bonus of the Awakened Elemental Focus, which is pretty cool. Okay, so that's sort of how the characters changed. I'll have the POBs in the description. I actually did upload them to the Armor Stacker Compendium. And there's a couple of things that we've discovered about reduced mana cost. So actually one thing I noticed that you can pick up here on this large thread of hope is this little node here, which is like 3% reduced mana cost of skills. I mean, not super big, but just having this 3% is now, my Grace is now only 54 mana. And without this, we check this out, it goes all the way up to like 91. I mean, I probably don't even need it, but like the mark is costing 30 mana, and then it's just like too much mana, so it's kind of nice. So there's some cool things you can do with Thread of Hopes. If you have a massive one, you can pick up Tireless, which is 6%, so that's kind of cool. So there's a lot of cool things you can do to actually, pick up some of these nodes. Okay, so in the Armor Stacker Compendium Google document, I've added a few more just kind of like examples for the Divine Blessing reduced mana cost to kind of give you some ideas of how you can set things up. So first of all, we do have like a bare bones setup, which is the one I'm using now, sort of, or I was using in the beginning. It's like the cheapest one to do. You don't need any kind of like catalysts or any kind of weird things, or like unveiled. You can just use the crafted prefix on the ring, get 91% reduced percent, and your Divine Blessing is going to cost 100 mana. And then you can go do things like with that Thread of Hope maybe, and then get a little bit more and have a very good reduction on your Divine Blessing. If you do have better rings, right, you can get it all the way down to like 97%. And then with the Thread of Hope, if you pick up that other like 3%, you'll be at 100% and have a 0 cost. There also is a synth implicit for 5%. So if you have that and this unveil, then you're going to be at 14 per ring. So that what that means is basically you can use a unique ring like a Nimbus. So if you wanted to use a Nimbus, you'd probably do a setup like this with one synth ring with the implicit and the unveil. Or, you could even just do a normal 8% one, and you would lose like, you'd be at like 89. So you'd have to take that node with a Thread of Hope, and then you'd probably be able to make it work without this synth implicit kind of shenanigans. But this is just kind of, idea. You can get up to 14% on one ring, which is kind of something that's kind of cool, I think. And then, so there is another setup I was thinking of, like say you wanted to use 2 unique rings, like you want to use Original Sin and Nimbus. Well, it is actually possible. You can see you can get all the way up to 96%. And the way you're going to do this is you need to have a amulet. So there's a focused amulet. And this amulet, if we go look on the wiki, it has 100% increased effective explicit modifier magnitude, so you get the reduced mana cost. You put the catalyst on here for the life and mana, and the reduced mana cost roll is going to roll all the way up to 15. You can also then get some like gem levels or something like that, so not really a bad amulet at the end of the day. So if you wanted to do this, this is one way you can get this setup working. Right? And if you did want to reduce the mana cost even more, then you could still pick up some of those nodes with the Thread of Hope, like the extra 3%. Then you'll be at 99% reduced, which is going to be pretty cool. Okay, so what about if you just don't have passive points on the tree? Well, then there is this kind of setup you can do here. And, it's like, these are just kind of setups I've put together, but I just want you guys to know that there are these kind of items that exist in the game, like the synth ring with the implicit for the reduced mana cost, or like you can catalyst your ring, or you can make these kind of amulets. So you guys know that these items are existing in the game, and you can go and kind of plan around that, right? So these aren't just like, okay, you have to do it like this, but these are just examples for you to kind of just like give you ideas of how you can kind of solve your mana issues. And some of these will probably work on Chieftain as well. Like, so what about this one? This one here, no Dreamer area. The Dreamer area is the node on the Scion, next to the Scion area that has the reduced mana cost. Well, what if you can't path there, right? Well, you can still get 95% reduced with an amulet and a ring if you are doing stuff like this. So in the future, like, what I'm doing now is I am slowly building up my Transcendence build. I do have a lot of the bases I need. So we have the Grasping Mail. I do have a helmet we have to craft. It's got like the Fizz taking us Chaos. And then I think that's about it. I do have my Watcher's Eye. I have a few of these, right? So we got the Fizz taken as, and then this one has a Discipline mod, which is pretty cool. It's going to be nice. We are going to be going into the ES regen again. So this recovery rate, well affected by discipline, is going to be pretty nice for ES regen. And then I think like for all the things I need, I pretty much have all the things, I think, except for like the voices, because voices this league are like super rare, it seems. But anyways, we'll get them eventually, but still have a lot of crafting to do. And one of the things I'm doing to actually make currency for all these items right now is I've started to do some beast crafting. So we're in the menagerie. We'll do a few of crafts of what I'm actually doing, and I guess we'll go over it now. So what we're doing is, well, you know, we're doing Watcher's Eyes. All right, so this is like really fun to do, and we'll show you how it's done. But basically, we buy some of these like Watcher's Eyes that have like, you know, 2 decent mods. So this one is kind of like a failure, but so we have one here. It's got like the ES on hit. Then it's also got an attack damage with precision. Now these 2 mods alone aren't really that good, but we're gonna re-roll it with these Wild Hellion Alphas and hope to actually get a better mod. So the way I'm doing this is I just buy these Watcher's Eyes that have, you know, 2 sort of good mods. Like this one has the precision mod and the ES on hit. And we're going to roll it and hope we get something good that's going to make it even more expensive. All right, so let's just use the beast. I like to use them like one at a time because I don't know why, but all right, so do the craft. Hopefully we get something good. And we didn't. We lost the precision mod, but we still have the ES on hit, so let's try again. Hopefully we don't completely destroy this. I mean, it does happen sometimes, but on average, the good results, you know, end up... holy shit, this is insane. Okay, this is like really good. What? How much is this? Crit and ES on hit. Okay, 40 div. All right. All right, easy money, boys. All right, let's try another one. So this one is... Wait, which one should we do? Let's try this one. So these are kind of failures, right? I re-rolled them and it kind of lost one of the good mods, but this one I think has a little bit of potential. So let's try it again. Basically, rolling Watcher's Eyes is like you could like easily make 2 mirrors in like a couple hours. Okay, Impale. Impale with Pride and Armor. That's kind of nice. Armor roll isn't all that good. It's like the worst, but the Impale is actually, the Impale one's really bad. But let's do one more, right? I like to just kind of keep doing them until they're like completely dead. Holy shit. We got double damage, Pride, and Impale, and Armor. All right, that's pretty nice. I think we'll keep this. All right. Wait, let's just price check it. Double damage and Impale's like 13 div. What about the Armor and the double damage? Okay, so this is like, probably sell this for like 20-ish divines. Pretty nice. Okay, we got one more. So this one... The mods that are good, there's only one. Well, actually, the recovery rate while affected by clarity might be nice for these like mana stackers, but it has to be probably a double clarity for them to use it, because I don't think they're using a lot of auras on those kind of builds. Okay, so we lost the clarity mod. Oh, but we got a Fizz taken as cold with purity of elements, which is pretty nice. I think we'll roll this again. So on its own, the Fizz taken as isn't really that good, but if we get like a purity of fire PTA or another purity of elements PTA, maybe even a purity of ice PTA might be nice. Let's just see what happens. Okay, crit multi with anger and PTA. Let's just see. I don't think those 2 by themselves are that good. Yeah, 6. So we need to get one more good mod. We'll try one more. So it's looking pretty good now. Maybe get a double anger one. I made a couple of like triple stat Watcher's Eyes, and like I think every league I make one, but it's always a Wrath one. So it's like triple Wrath Watcher's Eyes that just never sell. I mean, it looks really cool, but they end up never selling, so it's kind of sad. I don't think the Linger mod is good. Let's just check it. Yeah, it's not really good. Let's do one more. I keep saying one more, but we're going to do it till it's dead, or sort of sellable. And then for me, sellable is like 10 divine plus. I'm usually hoping for like 20 plus divine Watcher's Eyes, but okay, cool. So we got cold, hatred, and anger. Is there anyone even using these 2? Let's just see. 25 div, 10 hour, 6 hour. Okay. No, let's do it again. But we do have a hatred mod, so hatred is very popular, so that's nice. Now we just need to get another one of those hatred crit, base crit. And no, I think this is kind of dead. Okay. All All right, I mean, this is not going to be worth anything, probably. I think we just stop here and sell this for like 4 divines. Okay, so that's pretty much what I'm doing for money or like profits. I'm still doing simulacrums and stuff like that because I do want to level up and hopefully find one of those Watcher's Eyes. I mean, the voices. So you see, I already do have quite a few of these Watcher's Eyes. This one is pretty cool. It's like a double Fizz Taken As and a Hatred mod, which will probably sell for quite a bit. And then I also have another. This one's like Wrath Leech, and then some, what do you call it, double Fizz Taken As. So these, you know, pretty GG jewels that you can make pretty easily, like this one here with the ES on hit and the Hatred crit. Pretty nice, except for that Purity of Elements mod. Pretty sad, but I'm not going to really risk rolling it. At least at this point, you know, if later on in the league I'll actually roll these rather good mods to try to get like a better one. Last league I made a triple Purity of Elements Watcher's Eye that sold for like over 3 mirrors. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so that's kind of the currency strat that we're doing now is basically just this Watcher's Eye factory over here. And we'll probably keep doing that, and then at the same time keep crafting our Grasping Mail, the helmet. We still have to make the gloves and a lot of things to craft basically. And basically, while I'm waiting for all these things to sell, I just like, you know, running simulacrums, leveling gems, and right now I'm doing a bunch of Enlightens because Enlighten's OP right now. If you don't know that, you can buy these for like, basically you buy it for like 2.7 divines and you sell it for like 4.5. You can sell 4.5 uncorrupted, or you can use the you can corrupt them basically in the corrupted bricks, like level 3 bricks sell for the exact same price, so 2.7, 2.8. So you don't really lose any money, you just lose time, and it takes like 4 or 5 simulacrums to level them up all the way to level 3, so not that, so like 2 hours, 3 hours to level them up, so not that bad. Okay, but that'll be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm not really sure if we'll keep doing these build diaries because the gear won't really progress that much, but we'll see what happens. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.